So we spoke about rides before, and I remember you telling me,
Ain't fucking with me when they got like money.
real Florida shit, when you hit me,
I confidently can say I'm a barber.
So that we don't cheat on each other. I can't stand you.
And everybody still says it.
Like every project I improve. I got this record, and here's the story behind the fucking record.
yeah, it's called Before I Jump.
Nigga, don't try with music to play on the radio.
Okay, well, I'm here with a good friend of mine, someone who I've known for a long time.
What's up?
Who is now, actually, I'm gonna let you just introduce yourself. Just
Interview myself?
No.
All right,
Introduce
cool. What's up?
yourself.
All right. So my name's Kat. I do influencer marketing and talent management for content creators.
Okay, so what exactly is that? Like, how do you? First of all, let's break it down. What's influencer marketing?
All right. So influencer marketing is, you know how brands have like a budget for billboards or for commercials or so forth. Well, just recently, the last couple of years, they've found with social media being how powerful it is to be able to put, I guess, like a budget towards influential people in order to create a return on investment for their brand.
Okay. So, but how does that like? Because you know you hear all these articles that essentially influencer marketing is like a new thing that it can't be proven and it could generate sales. Like, how can you really gauge that someone's Instagram or someone's social media could turn into actual revenue? Is there a way to gauge that?
Yeah, I mean, off of statistics alone, like right now, even like I think it's like 70% of millennials, like people like us, when we go and purchase something, it's off of what? Because we heard it from somebody. Mm-hmm. Somebody already purchased it. Somebody's experienced or shared an experience with it, and that's the reason why we go out and we purchase these things. You know what I mean? So there is totally a way of gauging that, because you figured, all right, let's say right now I have 100K followers.
Okay.
And I post. Okay, there's obviously my followers, but I'm out here and I'm posting like, hey, this is like a hair product that I use. Mm-hmm. Think about it. If it's 70% of people are out here purchasing items or things off of a recommendation. Right. Think about it. How many people they're recommending it to? Like, you just recommended this product to 100K people. Mm-hmm. 100K people, you're influential to them. Mm-hmm. It's just gonna work. So
how strong would you say influencer marketing stacks up against like TV ads versus radio ads versus like how strong, like which one really generates more?
Definitely social media and influencer marketing has taken over. Yeah. It used to be TV and it used to be picture ads as well. Right. And right now it's video ads is what's taken over.
Yeah, I definitely see that. I feel like even on social media, like videos are more like, our phones are like the new TV.
Exactly. And like even when you scroll through your story, like how many times do you follow like a girl that you like how you do their makeup, or a guy that's into cars or into music or whatever, and they just say swipe up, like that's an ad right there. You know what I mean? Like, and they're getting paid for it right now. 75% of marketing agencies alone have budget allocated for influencer marketing. That's huge to have that amount of agencies know, all right, this is where it's at, I guess,
How do you like, just run me through like the process. How do you pitch? How do you go to like a company and properly pitch, like, hey, this is so-and-so off of so-and-so platform. Yeah. He or she has so, like, what's like the process like?
All right, well, like, it's something that's rapidly growing at this point. I mean, there's billions of dollars budgeted into social media marketing alone. So I think companies are already catching on. So it's a little bit easier now than maybe it would have been before. But it's kind of easy to pitch. They they already know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously like leverage, like, and it's becoming leverage now where the influencers are pretty much running everything. Like, you can't be a brand with like 5,000 followers and expect to exchange products for content, let's say, with somebody that has 75,000 followers. It's not. A lot of influencers now, the great thing is they get to turn down a lot of opportunities that
A lot
they
of
get.
bullshit opportunities.
And it's only because, I mean, let's say you're all about face and makeup, or you're all
Right.
about clothes, and Palmolive contacts you, or another brand contacts you that's not within your niche or within your brand, you're not gonna pitch it. Remember, people follow you, and every product or everything that you use, like, you're influencing people. That's literally what you do.
Right.
So if I sit there and I grab water and I drink it from here, it's like, oh wow, she uses mason jars as a glass of water. I gotta go and buy myself some mason jars. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's crazy, but it's how it works.
Do you feel like influencers and social media stars are like the new pop stars in a way?
They're actually better than the new pop stars.
Why do you say that?
Because brands are no longer paying celebrities to do ads for them.
Really?
Yeah, it's slim chance. Like, you got your, I guess, Fashion Nova and so forth. Will hire your Cardi B, but even that is influencer marketing. Like, they have their own influencer marketing department just for that brand alone. You know what I'm saying? So right now, look, at the end of the day, if you see somebody that's a celebrity using something, you're always gonna be like, all right, yeah, they got paid for it.
They get paid for it, right?
Yeah,
right.
but when you see somebody that is just your regular girl that you follow on social media, your regular guy or person, and they're using a certain product, you're that 70% that's going to purchase something off of the product that they use,
You're kind of, because it gives it more like a normal person appeal, right? Like,
absolutely. And they're not out here making full budgeted commercials. They're sitting on their bed, putting on their makeup with a teeth whitener on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, that's an ad. Everything is so discreetly an ad now. And companies are obviously catching on to that, and they're doing their thing with it.
What do you feel is like important? Like, all right, say for example, I'm a Instagram model, whatever, right?
Yeah.
What do you say is like important for me to approach companies? Like, what matters, right? Is it like views? Is it likes? Is it following? Like, what is like
mainly
the main
consistency?
Really?
Yeah, consistency within your posts, and you can kind of tell when people put thought behind their Instagram, or I want to say mainly Instagram and YouTube,
right?
And their Facebook, like their page as well.
Okay.
Right now, Facebook is, like, I guess, #1 with ads.
Really?
YouTube is second now. Yeah. When it
Are
comes
there
to
any like, all right? So you know how like there's the Instagrams? Are there like Facebook stars, influencers? Not really, right?
I think they'll pop off on Instagram because it's just so much easier to interact and so forth. And Facebook is very like, you have to have your real name. You have to, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's more like friends and family type of platform, as
Yeah.
opposed to Instagram's intention is so different from Facebook. And yeah, that's that's pretty much it.
How do you like? Have you ever come across like, with difficulty trying to convince like a quote unquote Instagram star to like, because essentially, right, a lot of I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, you correct me, you're the expert on this. Essentially, from what I see, is like a lot of these Instagram models, a lot of them really just kind of get followers because they're half naked all the time, right?
Yes.
At least that's my. You can tell
I get
me if
what
I'm
you're
wrong.
saying.
But how do you convince them, or do you even have to convince them? Like, hey, maybe you need to clean this up.
You do.
Because you do.
You do. Well, I think they'll see it on their own. Like, let's say I'm a pothead and that's like my persona, right? Well,
Right.
yeah. Once you start, popping, let's say, and you start growing, and your engagement goes up and so forth, and brands start to take a look at you, it's only going to be, let's say, marijuana-based brands, and you're going to want to expand yourself. That's why, like, to answer your question earlier, it's consistency, but you also have to have an intent and a niche. And I think those are the three, I guess, ingredients that'll
help you grow.
Help you grow. Yeah.
So you can't really have more like a lifestyle-based page.
Totally can. Yeah.
You can?
Yeah, and that's to me the
isn't
best.
that broad though? Like,
no, those are the best, because I mean, at least even me, when I'm working, with a brand and I'm looking for influencers, you best believe I'm not looking for someone that's only working on one specific thing, because
it's limited.
how are they gonna pitch something else? You know what I mean? Like, as opposed to someone that shares, their hobbies, their lifestyle, what they like to eat, where they like to go out, what they like to wear.
Right.
Now, look how many categories of brands
you can help.
You've just been able to help off of that. Yeah.
Is it easier or is it harder to like pitch male Instagram stars to like companies?
You know what? Believe
man.
it or not, men are actually influenced most off of, let's say, like a blog post than women
Right.
off of a blog post, which is obviously totally different. But
Right.
yeah, they're both equally out there. I don't think one reigns over the other. At the end of the day, people just want to see people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And people are curious on how other people live, whether you're male or female or gay, lesbian, anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's a little, I guess it's like a thin line of like where you keep your personal life personal, but people are nosy. At the end of the day, I want to know what your house looks like. I want to know, if you're walking around with a camera and I see your kitchen in the background. Do you know what I mean? People
Yeah.
are nosy about that. And the more you let in, the more vulnerable you are, and you show that you're just a human being like the person watching you.
Right.
That's how you get that engagement. You stay consistent where you're not posting 2 or 3 times, like even on a YouTube, especially on a YouTube channel. Like,
Right.
to me, if a channel hasn't posted once a month, I'm not really
That-
able to gauge your engagement or anything or your growth. So chances are I'm not going to really contact you, and say,
Right.
hey, let's collaborate with this brand or so forth.
You don't just do this yourself, right? You work for a company
Yeah.
that puts all stuff together. What's the name of the company?
Stargazer.
Stargazer. So essentially, what does Stargazer do?
So Stargazer, our founders are French. They came here and they created somewhat of a platform
Right.
where brands can easily, we manage the campaigns for the brands, and
Right.
then influencers kind of sign up and be able to be considered for brand sponsorships.
So like a company would hit you guys up like, hey, I got this new product coming out.
Or I have an existing product that I need new. Let's say like mainly we started with mobile apps.
Okay.
So like I need new users to install the app, or that's pretty mainly it. Like I guess new users, new people.
Right.
To purchase a product or
Right.
download an app or so forth.
So they'll contact you. They'll be like, hey, we got this new item or this existing item that we want to grow, right?
Yes.
The demographic and the fan base. Can you guys find some influencers for us, right?
Yeah.
So essentially what you guys do is you guys connect the dots between influencer and company.
Yeah. But we go further than that. We manage the campaigns for them. So
What do you mean?
like let's say for example a company would have a budget or a product to allocate towards the influencers. We would then find the influencers that would be beneficial towards that brand and so forth. That's like a mutual benefit.
Right.
And we pretty much go from there. We create the creatives, figure out what's going to help the brand and so forth as far as growth, and create the guidelines. Obviously some brands are more hands-on.
Right.
We like to be hands-on mainly because that's, I guess, like a challenge for us as well.
Right.
And we're learning because it is such a new field. And we pretty much manage it all. We make sure their video, their content goes, as meets guidelines and so forth. We schedule them, push them to go live, like obviously live on YouTube or to go live with a post and so forth. And we track the return on investment, which is really big. That's been the biggest thing that brands haven't been able to, I guess, measure.
Right.
And Stargazer has found a way to do that. So I'm really excited and kind of proud for the company that we work
I have a
for.
question though. This is me just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
What is to say that an influencer can just kind of bypass you guys and go straight to
Oh,
the
they
company?
totally can.
They can?
Absolutely.
So what are the benefits of being a part of Stargazer?
I guess
as an influencer?
because the companies are busy being the company. You're busy making makeup. You're busy making a skateboard, making a drone, whatever. You know what I mean? So since this is our specialty, the companies tend to trust
Right.
other companies that are for influencer marketing specifically. They know nothing about it, and we're just going along, with it. It's really all testing. It's
Right.
not. There's no set in stone what's gonna work. You know what I mean? So we've been pretty close and have been really successful with it.
Have there been times when you guys kind of take part of a campaign and it just doesn't pan out? Like, what is that? What is that like usually like?
It doesn't pan out in what sense?
Like, it doesn't generate leads or revenues or
installs, let's
you're
say,
right.
or so forth. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely happened before, but
That's like all aspects of marketing, though.
I mean, we're so, I guess, paranoid, like with our statistics, like we're constantly looking at the ROI and so forth daily. So if we see, like, let's say we're running a campaign for a month and it's like the 5th and the campaign isn't working at that moment, we're putting our heads together to figure out what it is that the influencer could do. Maybe, maybe just the guidelines aren't right or so forth, or we need to put more or take away. Like, we totally adjust to that to make sure that all campaigns are running smoothly. I want to say it's been very rare that I don't think we've bombed since I've been working here. We bombed the campaign. No, we haven't.
That's good. How many is Stargazer like the first company of its kind in Miami right now, or there's more? There's others.
It is it's the first of its kind in Miami. Absolutely, not in LA and so forth, because obviously, like, influencer marketing is very prominent over there. But we're absolutely the first of its kind here.
That's good, man. How long has Stargazer been?
2016.
Oh wow. Yeah, brand new.
It started, I mean, like, let's say 3 of them, and right now we have our headquarters is here, and we have another location in San Francisco. So
oh wow.
Yeah, we're expanding. Definitely.
What now? Say, for example, I know we touched on it a little bit earlier, but I kind of want to, dive pretty deep in this really quick. Say, I am a young, well, obviously, I'm a young man. I notice people are getting paid for their photos or for their posts on social media. I post a lot. I have an okay following. How can I be an influencer that starts getting paid for my posts?
All right. So I think this is the biggest mistake that people in that situation make. You want to be an influencer, or do you want followers? See, a lot of people...
What's the difference?
You'll post for the gram.
Right.
Or you'll post to get followers or to get attention. And then you're posting to be influential. I think what sets...
Can someone be influential with not a lot of followers?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's who you have at the moment.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I promise those people will always talk about you. So you'll have 10 followers that are really engaged, and they're going to be like, hey, go follow this girl, and then it just spreads out. As long as you keep what you do consistent.
Okay.
So I think the most important thing is having an intent to being an influencer.
Gotcha.
Your intent can't be to have 10,000 likes. Like, and that's the biggest mistake with a lot of people on social media.
Right.
It's a job. It's an absolute job, and it's a hard-working job. You're worried about your post. You're scheduling your posts months in advance because you got to live a life, and you got to post twice a day. So, see, it is persona, but it's not like persona. Yeah, these people are living their life, but do you really, really think that they're here twice a day? No, man. So you're thinking months in advance of your posts. It's kind of months. Like, you have at least a month calendar of when you're posting on what days, when your followers are most active at what times. Then you got to edit those posts. It's an absolute job. Then you got to engage with those people. You got to read your emails to see if any brands are sponsoring you, work those deals, make sure that they're beneficial for you. It is an absolute full-time job.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it isn't just, oh, my life is lit, I'm popping, I'm here, oh, I'm popping, I'm here. No, it's not. And that's, once you get into that, you'll start to realize it. And you could just study a couple of people's pages alone. Like, if people who want to become an influencer were to study other influencers and let them influence that, look at that. Yeah, that works out.
So the first step is you have to decide, do you want followers or do you want to be an actual influencer?
Yeah.
So say, okay, boom, I start deciding, hey, I want to be an actual influencer. What is like the next step?
What do you want to influence people on?
Okay, so now it's like the theme, right? This overall theme. Do I have to post, okay, say I want to influence people on, I drink a lot of coffee.
All right.
Obviously. So do I want to influence people on my coffee? Like, how does that work? Do I have to post a pic of a coffee cup every day?
No, but maybe you could go around and try different coffee around your area every day and kind of, hey, I like this, I like that. Maybe you guys could check out this spot and so forth. Start a blog. Blogs are really big with
people still read blogs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely. So you start, like I said, like a blog, and you blog about different coffees, and all of a sudden you become known, the guy to go to when it comes to coffee.
The coffee
Look at
guy.
that.
Yeah,
You're the coffee
yeah,
guy. So
okay.
now you have Bustelo, you have Pilon, you have now all these Folgers, all these coffee companies like try my coffee. Create content for it.
Okay.
Same thing, girls who like makeup. Makeup is really big, and the beauty industry is really big with influencer marketing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, this girl has a flawless face. She's on social media showing her makeup routine, or you know how she gets ready in the morning. Other people want to know how to get their face like that.
Gotcha.
What products they use, and so forth. And eventually, you start showing like what you currently use, what you currently like, and sure enough, you get to a certain reach where brands are, you know, outreaching you like, hey, try this product, see if you like this, and you're gonna share that on social media because that's what you do. That's your platform for that.
Okay, so first thing is obviously intent to be an influencer.
Yeah.
Decided what you want to
Influence
be an
on
influence
and find your niche.
Find your niche.
Yeah. And be consistent.
Be consistent.
Yeah.
That's
the main thing. Be consistent. Consistently find different ideas. You tap into your creative. I mean, to me, content creators are creative as hell. Imagine, you know, you have to tell a story with a photo just alone. You know what I mean? You have this one image that's gonna capture a certain story or your intent on what you want to let your followers know. Like,
Right.
to me, it's incredible. And then you have these kids who are reviewing toys on YouTube and are making millions. Like, see, that's the thing about influencer marketing. Anybody could be an influencer.
Wow.
From a kid to an older woman or older man. People are always gonna be relatable to you no matter what. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, some people are like, have mixed feelings about it. Like, oh, like this little girl's making what? How much money more than what I make? Because she's making.
I don't feel like that's a problem. I feel like if you have a certain value, you should get paid per value. It doesn't matter your age.
See, but people don't, like I said, people think about it as social media. You're just posting, you're just this. They don't know that you're out here thinking about what you're posting 2-3 weeks before, filming it, editing it, making sure it's relatable, and then posting it. You know what I mean? So they think of it like it's an easy job, but you get in front of the camera and start talking like, "Hey guys," and talking to a camera.
It's hard work.
It's
not
hard
that easy.
Work. It really is.
It's not that easy.
It isn't. So imagine like you're doing this stuff, and then a brand pays you $20,000 because you have 5.6 million subscribers on YouTube, and you're like, what? So for a 5-minute video, they got paid what I get paid in a year. And people get salty as hell about it, man. Let me tell you, they get salty. But it's like, damn, now that 16-year-old girl is now creating income for herself to be able to put herself through college, to be able to, take that I guess like break that chains of their parents having to bust their ass for their kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's really changed the way America works now. Like, at least growing up, it's like, you work, study hard, you get a degree, you work your ass off, you retire, you die. And social media has broken that, and it's incredible. It really is incredible.
Okay, so with all these talks about social media influencing and marketing and all this stuff, do you feel like, I feel like this is a reoccurring theme that keeps getting brought up the more social media gets prominent in our society. Do you feel like social media and technology and our phones and all this stuff, do you feel like that has a negative impact? It can influence in a bad way?
Yes. It totally can, and I feel like the more you let people into your life, the more you feel like you have to explain your life to other people, and that sucks, to be honest with you, because you shouldn't have to explain your life to anybody. So I think you gotta tread carefully, when it comes to social media. See, a lot of times people get on social media and automatically compare their lives to what they're seeing.
Right.
And people don't post when they have diarrhea all day. People don't post when they lost their job. People don't post the real life. You know what I mean? People only post the highlights. And I think that's mainly where it has a negative impact, because more from the people that are viewing, not so much the people that are doing.
Right.
I mean, it balances equally. Like, as far as from the viewer's standpoint, people are showing you what they want you to see.
Right.
Not everything. And I think they're not showing everything, man. Like, it's so important for people to realize that. once they realize that, you'll be able to worry more about your life and others, and be
Right.
able to get yourself to where you're happy. And I think as far as from the influencers standpoint, mainly like vloggers and so forth that share every day of their lives.
Because you see a lot of vloggers go crazy. Like they had, I forgot the guy's name. I know Jake Paul kind of went through a little situation.
Yeah.
And they had another vlogger, I think his name was Fuzi. And he went crazy. Like he was doing a vlog, he was like a live vlog, and then he just
Lost it.
Yeah, like because I feel like that is true. Like when you vlog your entire life, you kind of lose yourself, you know?
Completely. I
Yeah.
think you completely lose yourself because now you're doing everything for the camera instead of doing it for yourself.
Right.
And
There has to be like a
That's-
balance.
yes, definitely. And I think it's okay. Like, I mean, there's sometimes I'll see somebody go on my story and be like, hey, so I know I haven't been here for like 2 days. And you're like, wow, dude, like you got to go and explain why you haven't been on social media for 2 days.
Yeah, it's not that
Maybe
serious.
because you were living your life. Like, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But some people are so obsessed with it and obsessed with other people's life that they totally lose theirs. So I always say tread carefully.
Right.
Obviously, when it comes to social media on all aspects.
Now, another thing I want to touch on is influencer marketing, is it a fad? Like, what is the lifespan? Like, how do you think it's something that can sustain?
As long as we have technology, absolutely. Because like I mentioned before, right now the main people that are prominent in it is micro influencers.
Right.
Not so much like celebrities and so forth. And there's constantly a cycle of micro influencers coming in and out of social media. People
Yeah.
are growing, people are being born every day, and I mean, I can't see us right now without any kind of social communication platform like a Facebook or like an Instagram or a Pinterest or so
Right.
forth. Like it's kind of here, and I think it's here to stay. Alone, the budget from this year to next year is, I guess, projected to double, and we're talking about in the billions. Like, can you imagine once we actually lock this down and know the science to how it works and so forth, and people gain the knowledge as far as from the marketing aspect, and the influencers learn to get better? Yeah, like I don't think this is something that in 10 years people are like, oh, remember when influencer marketing was a thing? Like,
it's probably gonna
nah,
grow.
I really don't.
I
think
see it
so.
too, because I feel like phones are like the new TV. Like I watch more videos on my phone than I
Yeah.
actually do sitting down in front of a
TV.
television screen.
I don't pay for cable. I pay for Netflix. and I pay
Exactly,
for
and you
Hulu, which
can stream
happen
Netflix
to be on
your phone.
apps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I definitely see this growing. It can definitely be a long sustaining thing.
Yeah.
Although I do feel like there has to be a balance between the
Yes.
viewers and the actual influencers. But no, overall, I'm very excited to see where technology takes us, and
Me too.
I'm glad for people like you guys that can definitely find ways to bridge the gap, and where to the point where you guys kind of create an economic cycle between
Exactly.
So where
Yeah.
everybody gets paid, everybody's happy, and things continue to grow.
Exactly.
So thank you for this talk. It's been
Thank
amazing.
you for letting me explain
Of
what it
course.
is. I know a lot of people are curious.
Yeah, and wow.